Chapter 22. The inside of the tent is cavernous. There are true trees growing there. Stan touches them. Yep, they're real. The light is dim, like dawn. Mr. Smith walks briskly, hurrying Stan forward. They pass huge empty cages whose steel bars are rusted. Elephants, says Mr. Smith when he sees Stan looking. Elephants? Says Stan. Used to be elephants in the cages, and lions, tigers, zebras, bears. But that was in the old days when we supplied everything. It's all come to an end except for goldfish and a few specialty items. Hurry along, please. And be careful where you step. There are rumours a pair of scorpions have escaped. Stan stares down in horror at the ground beneath his feet. Scorpions, he gasps. Why do you have scorpions? For the Scorpion Act, of course. And if you hear flapping, be sure to duck. It'll be the eagle. He likes to land on heads, and his claws are very long and sharp. Stan looks at the earth. He looks at the sky. He holds his hands against his skull, and his heart thunders and thumps. Goodness gracious, says Mr. Smith. I can see you're not used to doing this. What on earth are you doing here? Stan gasps again. He goggles at the man. What is he doing here? How on earth did he end up like this? He wants to yell, I'm just an ordinary boy. I don't want to be in a tent that looks like the world, searching for half a shoal of goldfish. I don't want to be frightened of scorpions and eagles. I want to go right back to the start, when I had an ordinary life with an ordinary family and an ordinary home, and I was ordinary little Stanley Potts. The yelling inside his head feels so loud that Stan is certain Mr. Smith must hear it. Well, says Mr. Smith. Stan sighs. Wilfred Dostoevsky sent me, he whispers. That makes sense, he says. Come along. Look out, duck. Stan flings himself to the ground and wraps his arms around his head. Nothing happens. He hears laughter. He looks up. My little joke, says Mr. Smith. Works every time. Now get up. Goldfish supply is ready for you. And he walks away. Chapter 23. The goldfish supplier is sitting at a desk in front of an assortment of plastic ponds, a fishing net slung over his shoulder. He grins and beckons Stan forward. He beckons Stan towards him. You found me. Well done. That's half the battle over. I'm Seabrook. What's your name and what's your poison? Poison? Says Stan. Forgive me, you're new, aren't you? Seabrook's way is we have a drink and a chin wag. Then we get down to business. I've got water, fizzy water, or black pop. Stan suddenly realises he is very thirsty. What's in the black pop? He asks. Seabrook taps his nose and winks. Something black, he says. Something secret. Something delicious. He reaches into a drawer in the desk and takes out a squat glass bottle filled with a black stuff and hands it to Stan. Some folk says it makes them do sums better, says Seabrook. Some folk says it makes them run better. He twists his nose. Some folk even say it helps them to drink black pop better. Now, I don't quite know what they mean by that either. What did you say your name was? It's Stan, says Stan. He takes a swig of the black pop. Seabrook's right. It is delicious. Let's have our chin wag now, says Seabrook. It's a lovely day, isn't it, Stan? It is, says Stan. Though there was a bit of a chill last Wednesday, adds Seabrook. Was there? Says Stan. There was, but not like that cold snap back in March. And kids today, eh? I mean, it's serious, isn't it? Every time you turn on the telly, there's another one. The world's going to rack and ruin, and the economy. The economy! I mean, where's it all going to end? Stan swigs the black pop, a strange taste, like blackberries and sardines at the same time. I don't know, he admits. Me neither, Stan. I mean, I was saying to Mackintosh just last night, you know, he's the one who married that lass from Pembroke, the one with a bit of a limp after she fell off a bike when she was 3. I mean, I was saying to him, what's going to become of us? When's it going to end? He didn't have a clue, of course. Not surprising when you think what he's been through with that poor dog of his. I mean, There is no answer, is there? I mean, listen to them talk. They talk like they know what they're talking about and what they're going to do about it all. And you know they haven't got a clue. I mean, it's like they talk for the sake of talking. Do you know what I mean? And the litter Stan. It's not like in our day. I blame the teachers. Rack and ruin. And it's a long way to Tipperary. That's what folk fail to understand. You've got to look on the bright side, haven't you? There's a light at the end of the... But listen, it's been really lovely talking to Stan, but I'm afraid I haven't got all day. Anyway, what's it got to do with the price of fish? I don't know, Mr. Seabrook. Exactly. Now, are you after A, B, C or D? He sees Stan's blank expression. Do you want golden greats, top notchers, not too bads, or little runts? He sees Stan continued blank expression. Tell you what, come and look at the ponds and I'll explain. Seabrook leads Stan round the desk to the ponds. He explains that the golden greats in pond A are best of all, but most expensive. The little runts in pond D are the scrawniest and cheapest. Stan looks down. They are all beautiful to his eyes. The gorgeously curving golden greats, the twitchy little runts, and all the others in between. They're lovely, says Stan, each and every one of them. As if they hear, several fish rise to the surface and turn their eyes and mouths to Stan. I'm impressed, says Seabrook. You got the touch. I could do you a mixture if you like. How many are you after? Half of the shoal. Who are they for? Wilfred Dostoevsky. Aha, Dostoevsky. Long-time customer of mine. He goes back to his desk, opens a file. As I thought, he says, Wilfred Dostoevsky's custom is always to take the little runts. Stan nods. He's already guessed that. The 13 fish he saved on his birthday were obviously from Pond D. But, says Seabrook, I've heard he's a changed man these days. A changed man? News travels fast in the fair Stan. Story is, he's come across some kid who's had an influence on him. He closes the file and peers at Stan. Is he a changed man, Stan? I don't know. Didn't know him before. Before he came across you, you mean? I don't know, says Stan. Seabrook smiles. He winks. It's a pleasure and an honour to have you here, Stan, he says. Tell you what, I'll do you a mixed half shoal, okay? Okay, says Stan. Seabrook takes his net, dips it into all 4 ponds and lifts out fish from each and tips them gently into a plastic carrier filled with clean water. The fish swarm together, become accustomed to their new space. Then as Stan and Seabrook watch, they separate again into A's, B's, C's and D's. Funny how that always happens, says Seabrook. He grins. Look at those golden greats. Look how splendid they are. Don't you think they're splendid, Stan? Yes, says Stan. But which are truly your favourites, Stan? Stan gazes into the water. The little runts, he says after a moment. Seabrook grins again. Thought so. Maybe because you came from the same pond, eh, Stan? Seabrook smiles. Stan digs into his pocket and takes out some money. How much are they, he says. Seabrook takes a few coins from his hand. That'll do, he says. Now, turn around and I'll get this on your back. He lifts the plastic water carrier, which has straps hanging from it. He puts the straps over Stan's shoulders. The carrier is heavy, but it settles easily onto Stan's back. Stan feels it hanging there, so close. He thinks he can feel the vibrations of the fish as they swim. Feels okay? asks Seabrook. Stan nods. Off you go then, Stan. He touches Stan's shoulders. You know what? The little troubled runts are often the ones that turn out to be the best of all. Stan says goodbye. He walks away, past the empty rusting cages. He's forgotten about the scorpions and the eagle. He feels the vibration of the swimming fish at his back. The water carrier glitters and glows. Chapter 24. Stan isn't aware of the passing through the wall of the tent, but suddenly there he is, out in the fair again. He walks homeward, past the Wild Boar cookhouse towards Dostoevsky. A few kids gather behind him and follow. They poke at the water carrier, point at the fish. They ask if they can have one, and Stan laughs and says they'll have to come to Dostoevsky's hook-a-duck stall and win one. There's a prize every time at Dostoevsky's, he says, pleased with himself for advertising the stall so well. The kids say they will, and Stan sees how happy and friendly they are, and with every step he feels more at home. But you also has the feeling of being watched again. He pauses by the wrestling booth and looks around. There's a man standing beside it in the shade. The kids gasp. It's Pancho, one whispers. It isn't, it can't be. It is. I seen him last year in Marrakesh. It's Pancho Pirelli. The kids quieten down, and Stan senses their trembling and excitement as Pancho comes out from the shade and walks towards them. He's dark-skinned, dark-eyed, dressed in blue. He heads straight to Stan. You're Stan, he says. His voice is soft, foreign, watery. I've been waiting for you, Stan. All these years I knew there'd be somebody like you. And now, here you are. He holds his hand out. Stan takes it. It's odd, but it feels like he's known Pancho for a long, long time. I've been watching you, says Pancho. You are the goldfish boy. Will you come to see me do my act? Yes, but I'll be easy to find, Stan. Ask anyone. Come tomorrow. See my act, and then we will talk some more. He turns and walks away. The kids breathe easily again. Pancho Pirelli, one whispers. I seen Pancho Pirelli. Why has he been watching you, Stan? I don't know, says Stan. I don't know anything. He's the greatest. We thought he was gone. My dad said he got gobbled up. Gobbled up, gasped Stan. Aye, but he obviously ain't. Maybe he just got chewed a bit. They say he's getting old. They say he'll get proper gobbled up if he don't take care. Stan has so many questions, but the kids scatter, running away to tell their families and friends that they have stood beside the great Pancho Pirelli. Chapter 25. Dostoevsky is delighted with the fish. He says they're a glorious collection. He catches his breath as he says it. Did you hear what I said? He marvels. A glorious collection? You wouldn't have heard Dostoevsky saying such a thing about a bunch of fish a few short days ago, would you, Stan? Stan shrugs. No, he admits. You're a strange one, says Dostoevsky, peering into Stan's face. Me, says Stan. Aye, you're having quite an influence on me, young Stan. He snaps open a bottle of beer and swigs for it. I'm going to stop there.